Project 996.
The wrap's been on for 4 years now. It's hanging, if we're honest.
It's not what we wanted to see.
So off the wrap came with dire consequences. I was left facing a full respray, which gave rise to a creative idea.
Okay, so the 996 has been at Porsche Accident Repair for a couple of days now. As you can see, majority of the wrap is off. We've just really got front and rear bumpers to remove now. The deck lid incident is painted, so don't worry about that being white. Leon then said to me, well, we need to get the dents taken out of the car. Now I thought that was a bit odd because I didn't think there was any dents on the car, but Craig here from Dent Diamond Paintless Dent Removal has come along and essentially drawn all down the side of the car. It's quite funny because it kind of looks like a fish with a load of gills. What those pink markers are dents essentially, and what Craig's doing now via a load of techniques which I'll show you in the following video is a number of ways to remove these dents from the car, and the idea is we want to put as little filler on the car as possible.
See that moving?
Yeah. An hour or so later, Craig had the 996's body looking smooth and unblemished, most likely for the first time in many years. The 996 was comprehensively pulled apart the very next day to begin prep for paint, but first those last remnants of wrap had to be removed. It took a full day and a lot of aggravation for the 996's bodywork to be rid of that white wrap, but it had to be done before the guys at Porsche Accident Repair could even think about prep work. On that front, the bonnet was first up for attention. Despite the wrap peeling off a lot of paint and lacquer, the bonnet still measured more than 500 microns thick, which meant it had to go back to bare metal. As you can see, this was a project moving quickly and evolving all the time.
Okay then, lots of progress since I last visited Porsche Accident Repair. Here is the car. As you can see, it's no longer white. It's now back to a rendition of its original factory colour, which is Zenith blue. It's now nice and smooth. Incidentally, because of the work that Craig, the dent man, did on the car, along with the fact that it's not had any crash damage, means there's only 2 bits of filler on the car now. There's a little bit on the roof and a little bit on the near side rear quarter. Other than that, she's golden. So as I say, she's getting taped up at the moment. The car will go in the oven tomorrow, a little bit of primer, and then we can get ready for paint. So here we are then. The car has now been in the oven for the first time. The outer skin that's going to be painted has all now been etch primered. That will then be left for the rest of the day just to cure before being DA'd, which to you and I is sanded down. Nice and smooth again, ready to go back into the oven tomorrow to start the paint. Now then, on the subject of that paint, some surfaces here have been left blue, as you can see, like here under the frunk. But the eagle-eyed among you may notice that all edges have been smoothed down, ready to receive paint. And the reason is, this car isn't staying blue. How have we got to this stage? Well, after we pulled the wrap off, Leon, as we met from video 1, basically decided that the correct procedure going forward was to paint the car all over. From my point of view, if we were going to paint the whole car, why keep to blue? Why not choose something else? We've had to do some mitigation here in order to keep things fairly budget friendly. So, the outside, everything that you can see here that's all etch primed, that is going in my colour of choice. The bits that you can see are blue, they're essentially going to be scotched up, etch primed, and then satin blacked and left. This avoids us having to, for example, take out the engine in the back. There are things we can do, just like take out the induction, satin black the engine bay and leave it. We don't have to take the engine out. So that's what we're doing.
Davey gave the 996 a final rub down to leave a silky smooth, flat finish to the bodywork. The result was masterful and gave me a newfound appreciation for the art of world-class paint prep. And so to the big day, paint. The 996 was masked up and then given a final rub down and blow over with a static gun to remove any lingering fibres or contaminants still attached to the car's surface. Then the ground coat of black was applied, which is designed to give the final coat some added depth. This was then baked off for 15 minutes, which turned the coat from gloss to matte. Meanwhile, Porsche Paint Code 213 was being hastily mixed together. The colour recipe included a lot of yellow, a bit of brown, a dollop of green, a smattering of black and a trace of white, plus hardeners and thinners. The paint, by the way, is from Glasurit and is an eco-balanced product made from sustainable materials. The paint was mixed, poured and loaded into the paint gun, ready for application of that first coat. In the last week, my 996 had changed from white to blue to grey to black, and now its final colour change was taking place in front of my eyes as we welcomed, oh yes, Irish green onto the 911's body. It was an unbelievable feeling watching the paint being so expertly applied and the car was looking more and more amazing by the second. What a buzz. The car had 3 coats in all, interspersed between a 15-minute bake-off at 40 degrees. Then it was onto lacquer. Mixed with hardener and thinners, the car had 2 coats before a final bake-off for 30 minutes at 60 degrees. All in all, not bad for a morning's work.
Right, I'm going to have to make this quick because we have just finished the bake down process in here, so this is just cooling down from 60 degrees where it's been left for half an hour, so it is sweaty. As you can see, behold, the Irish Green 996 is upon us. Why have I chosen Irish Green? Loads of reasons. First of all, most importantly, it's my favourite Porsche colour. I think it looks good on any generation of 911 and hopefully in painting it on this 996 I'm going to prove that a little bit more. The other reason is all the cars that are made for the Porsche family are always finished in a shade of green, personified by the millionth 911 which came along in 2018 I believe, 2017 or 2018, and that was painted in Irish green. So aside from it being a colour that means a lot to me personally, it's also a colour that's quite steeped in Porsche heritage. All of what you've seen in this video has happened over the space of about 4 to 5 hours. Quite a lot happens in a short space of time, but the most crucial thing to remember is the important bit is the prep. When you do any car, as Leon has previously said, it's 80% prep, 20% paint. You have to get the prep right in order to have good paint. There's still a lot of work to be done though. This isn't the end of the road by any stretch of the imagination. Lloydie will now spend the best part of a day polishing this. There's a bit of a surprise coming up on the back of the car which will be revealed in the next video, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. But other than that, I am so happy. The wrap has gone, the Zenith blue has gone, the Irish green is here to stay, and to be honest I'm also delighted to get out of this oven, so we'll call it quits there. Happy days.
Coming up in part 3, the 996 is reassembled and that surprise at the back of the car is finally revealed.